15th February, 1946. Mr. Ramaswamy Iyengar of Kumbakonam, who was staying at Palakotu in the Sadhu community, passed away this morning about 2 a.m. And Kunju Swami informed Bhagavan of the same at once. He passed away with Bhagavan's name on his lips. Bhagavan made some kind inquiries about Ramachandra's health, as he had been suffering from sciatica for about a week now, and was taken to the doctor in the government hospital last evening. Among the letters received today was from one lady, in which she asked for Bhagavan's opinion on the question whether the body can be kept alive eternally. While perusing the letter, Bhagavan made a few remarks, and this led to questions from visitors. Bhagavan repeated his well-known views on the subject, more or less to the following effect. As this lady writes, some have maintained that the body can be made immortal, and they give recipes, medical and other, for perfecting this body and making it defy death. The so-called Siddha school, as it is known in the South, has believed in such a doctrine. Venkaswami Rao started a school which believed the same. There is even a society in Pondicherry, and also a school which believes in transforming men into supermen by descent of divine power. And the same was mentioned in this letter. But all people, after writing long treatises on the indestructibility of their body, after giving medical recipes and yogic practices to perfect the body and keep it alive forever, also pass away one day. Somebody raised the question, what then about those who are spoken of as Chiranjivas in our books? And Bhagavan replied, but do they appear in physical bodies? They only appear to you in your meditation. From this, the talk drifted to whether they have individuality, and Bhagavan said, as long as you have individuality, you can see individuality in them, not afterwards. In the night, Devaraja said to Bhagavan, when Nena went to Gokulam, he went almost to every house and offered his superb vidya to everyone, his knowledge. But nobody cared for it then. But now they come across a verse of his and they go into raptures over it and exclaim, what poetic gift! And if they can get a picture of him, they worship it as God. This seems to have been the way of the world always. There is a story about Mahendranath. It is said that he went about saying, I shall give you Brahman for 2 Purampalis. But nobody cared. At last, Goraknath came along, and when he heard this offer, he said he would bring the Palis. He went into the city, got up a tall tree, hung from one of the branches head downwards, had a small fire lit up underneath, and made a disciple sit by his side. The whole town swarmed around and wondered, saying, what great tapasya! Austerity. Some great Mahatma has come to our place. People readily offered to do various services and present many things to this great tapasi. The disciple explained that his master would only accept bhiksha, in which 1,000 persons should all be fed with the best paulis. This was readily arranged, and Gorakhnath took 2 paulis and ran up to Mashendra, telling the people, "You feed the 1,000 persons. I shall go to the Ganges and offer the paulis to Ganga." "Here, sir, I have brought the 2 paulis," he said. "Now give me Brahman." And he took the paulis, bit them here and there, threw the pieces to the birds, dogs, and the river, and then they both disappeared. M had given G Brahman. It seems to have been the way of the world always. Great men are rarely respected and rated at their true worth in their lives. Even Shankara was bitterly attacked during his lifetime as some kind of Maya Asura, elusive demon. But now he is regarded not only here, but all over the world as the greatest religious and philosophical thinker the world has produced. And to all of this, the words and stories, Bhagavan said, there is another similar thing between Shankara and Mashendranath. It is said of Mashendra also that he was enjoying the company of a woman and forgot to return at the end of the period fixed by him, and that thereupon his disciple Gorakhnath went and sang and reminded him and brought him back, in the same way in which Shankara's disciples are said to have sung Guru Stuti and brought back Shankara. The man proceeded to relate that Gorakhnath was greatly revered in Nepal, from the king downward, and the state coin also bore the name of Gorakhnath. He said, "It seems when Gorakhnath was alive, the then king of Nepal visited him, and when Gorakhnath was apprised of the king's arrival, he merely spat on the king. The king, to avert the spittle falling on his crown, drew back a little, and the spittle fell on his feet. Gorakhnath is said to have then told the king, 'You would not let the spittle fall on your head. If it had so fallen, you might have become the head of a big empire. However, as it fell on your feet, you would be the master of a small kingdom.'" The talk then drifted to miracles done by various saints. And Gorakhnath mentioned one Vasudeva Saraswati and said, "He has gone all over India. Bhagavan knows him. He was here too. He did various miracles. One morning he would bathe in the Krishna, and at noon he would be found bathing in the Ganges at Benares, and at a third place in the evening." Then he proceeded to speak of Samartha Ramdas and his miracles, and told the following story. It seems one of his disciples, greatly devoted to him, used to grind the betel leaves and nut in his own mouth first, and then offer it to Ramdas. Some co-disciples thought this sacrilegious and went and told Ramdas, saying, "Please ask him to bring the pestle and mortar with which he daily prepares betel leaves paste for you." Ramdas thereupon asked those disciples, "Yes, go and ask him to bring the mortar." They accordingly went and told that disciple, "Master wants us to bring from you the mortar in which you prepare betel leaf for him daily." And the disciple said, "Wait, I shall give it to you presently." And so saying, he took a sword, cut off his head, and gave it to the other disciple. When the disciples took the head to the master, the latter told them, Do you now see the bhakti of the man whom you misunderstood and maligned? Go and put his head back again on his trunk." The disciples did as directed, and the man came back to life. So the sword, Bhavani, was presented to Shivaji by Ram Das. 4 men are required to handle that sword, handled by Shivaji. It is now preserved by the British government.